Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Come on with us to Luke 14 today. Jesus, in Luke 14, he comes to a Pharisee's house. It's on the Sabbath. He starts noticing how people sit down and how they take the best places. He's going to talk about pride. He's going to talk about service. At verse 12, he says, "When you give a dinner or a supper, do not ask your friends, your brothers, your relatives, or any of those people, lest you be repaid." Verse 13, "But when you give a feast, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, and the blind." I want to look at that verse and think about what it's going to take. What it's going to take as you invite those. One, he mentions the poor. Understand, you need to prepare to be spent. This is what sacrifice looks like. This is not a potluck. This is not a pitch-in. It is going to cost you. You are going to have to supply the lack. That's what you're going to have to do. So prepare to be spent. It's sacrifice, and that's what the Lord calls us to. The second thing, though, is the maimed. How do you treat someone if they are perhaps missing an appendage, missing a hand? What are you going to have to do? You're going to have to help them eat. You're going to have to be their hands for them. Now, you cannot eat for them, but you're actually almost going to have to treat them somewhat like a child, and you're going to actually have to feed them. Now let's talk about the lame. If someone is crippled or limping, as the word implies, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to be their crutch for them. You're going to have to help them in. You're going to have to help them to their seat. You might have to carry them. Okay? If someone's lame, if they're going to come into the house of the Lord, that's what you're going to have to do. Now the fourth group is those who are blind. What are you going to have to be for the blind? You're going to have to be their eyes for them, because they cannot see where they're going. They cannot see trouble that may be in their way. They cannot see a lot of times the straight and narrow path. We're talking about, of course, the Lord's talking about hospitality and service, but he's also talking, there's a spiritual application. The upcoming verses talk about the kingdom, and that's really what we're talking about. What are you going to have to do in order for the Lord's kingdom to be filled? It's going to cost you. You're going to have to help them in. You're going to have to help people to eat, and you're going to have to be their eyes for them. If they are young and immature, or if they're spiritually immature, they cannot sense the difference between good and evil. That's in Hebrews. And that's what it's going to take. Now, who has this responsibility? Those who are healthy. Those who are healthy and those who have the opportunity. They have the responsibility to do these things. I hope you enjoyed this study. God bless you. I hope you have a good day. Be a blessing to others. Hope to see you tomorrow morning.